We have the pieces to be a solid team. And by solid, I would say my definition of solid would be somebody. I think we could be I think for this team with the youth, if we're in the top 10 in the country, I'd be pleased because that means we'd be a threat. And it's a rebuilding year for us, without question, and given the kids we've graduated the last 2 years. Yeah, but the question is, are we really, or are we a pretender that needs to mature, or are we really a contender? And that's what we'll find out in the next month or so. Because you'll know it even, regardless of W's and L's, you'll just know it from watching them play, whether we... And, what I like about this group is it's, even though we have a lot of new faces, it's pretty athletic, and overall it's physically fairly solid, strong group of athletes. So, that's your biggest concern with a younger team, is that you're physically immature and not going to be able to keep the pace. But, these kids, look to me, watch them in practice, and you can only gauge off your own veterans, Patton, Long, kids who've been with us, Burchard, how are the young kids handling them? And you know what? I think we're going to be okay. Certainly those 3 kids I just named are going to be our 3 top players. I have no doubt of that. But some of the freshmen have really impressed me, just in practice. Christine Horn's out of Michigan, and Christine Lavoie is out of Ontario. Those 2 forwards are big, strong, talented kids. Kaylee Chappell, out of Ontario, freshman defenseman. Katie Brock, freshman defenseman, very solid. Very solid. A lot of these kids have been such leaders, go-to players on their teams, that I just see that mentally they kind of don't know what they don't know. So the question is, I don't want to shake, you're trying to prepare them without breaking down that confidence. So that's always a concern, but I think these kids believe in themselves right now. Now we'll see how they feel after they've been tested by some clubs in the next month that we're going to face. Yeah, Brittany Scudder, basically she's a freshman, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, she missed all last year, so I thought she played very well. And she's got a little bit of Hitchcock in her. We got 2 kids in net that we relied on last year. Both did a solid job, and I expect we'll trade them. We'll trade them off game to game early on and see how they handle it.
The defense, I think, was under last year.
She's our quarterback. She's a national team player. I mean, Casey, if she were sitting here, would tell you that she's every bit as talented as Casey Bellamy, and I expect she'll be really critical to our success this year. I mean, she's a natural back there, so we'd be crazy to move her up. I mean, I think, frankly, if the Canadian national team, the Olympic team, didn't have 7 or 8, I've talked to Mel Davis and their Olympic coaches, they didn't have 7 or 8 women, that because it's in Canada, who are 30, 33 years old, who've played in the Olympics a couple of times, hanging in for one more kick, I think Courtney would be on the Canadian Olympic team right now. But I'm excited to see what we got. Drop the puck, just like Dick. See where the chips fall. I think it's going to be an interesting year. It's going to be by far the most parity you've ever seen. And people always say that coming into the season, and then someone runs away with it. I don't think anybody's going to be that good this year.